Hey, this is Chris, and this is Devos with the worship leader.
There is power here in this hour.
Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in. I am here with two of my best friends, Emily Rhodes and James Rhodes, and they're going to help me go over the topic of being judgmental and how the church has really been characterized as being judgmental. And so we're going to bring in some scripture and see what Jesus thought about it. First question, go on from there. Have you guys had any personal experience or known anyone that's had personal experience of the church being judgmental to them?
Sadly, yes, far too many.
Definitely have had students working in the youth department, and we've had students that come in from lower income homes that don't have as much, coming from very crazy backgrounds with piercings and tattoos and things like that, classified as not good. It's something that the church has had an issue with. But we have seen students being torn apart from that, older people in the church that have looked down upon those things.
Those have come from like a perspective of there's this certain type of prescription Christian that is supposed to be in the church, and it's viewing the church as a museum for saints instead of a hospital for broken sinners. And so it comes from like this old school mentality of kind of get yourself right before you come to the Lord, instead of the other way around, of like the Lord healing broken people and bringing them in from brokenness.
The one verse that a lot of people overuse when it comes to judgment is Matthew 7:1. It says, "Judge not that you be not judged." And so it's used a lot because a lot of our society doesn't want to be told that they're wrong. Not everything is okay to do. Not everything is right. So when someone is told they are doing something wrong, they pull out this verse. Have you guys had experience with either this being said? We're not supposed to be just talking in judgment, but speaking in love.
I think a lot of times the problem is not that what someone's doing is just that it's wrong. It's that the way that Christians have gone about talking about those things, it completely comes across in the wrong way. We talk about getting yourself right without talking about like the benefit of that, or why not doing those bad things is good. The biggest problem is that people automatically assume that you're judging them because of the way that you go about saying it. The judgment side of it comes when I just put you down without building you up.
We're talking about, loving one another. Is in John chapter 13, verse 35. It says, by this all people will know you are mine, my disciples, if you have love one to another. That's a big deal. And I think that's the part that people forget. We always want to point out the faults of others. We forget to temper everything we say with love. I think comes across as judgment, and we're passing judgment on others. But we have to realize that, that first of all, that we have our own issues, we have our own faults and our failures, but also that we are to love one another in those, because we realize that we have failures, so do they. Christ loves us the same. So we have to then display that love that he has for us, for others. And if we don't love one another, then how are they going to know about Christ, and how are they going to see his love and see that he wants to have a relationship with him if we are constantly breaking down other people and just showing them their failures instead of giving encouraging words?
It's about the church being honest about where they are. Christians say, oh, well, you're doing wrong, and yet we're a lot of times unwilling to say I'm wrong, or I've struggled with that. When I tell someone, hey, I see you're doing something wrong, I go, look, I get it, I've struggled with that, or I am struggling with it. So it's a matter of showing someone that you're not the only one dealing with this thing. Like, this is something that everybody deals with, and I have to deal with it in the same way that you do. I have to get rid of it the same way.
I think a big thing about the church being categorized as being judgmental is almost like pride. I don't want to say that I was wrong, but I'll for sure tell you that you were wrong.
In James chapter 5, verse 19, it says, my brothers, if anyone among you wanders from the truth, let someone bring him back. Let him know that whoever brings back a sinner from his wanderings will save his soul from death and will cover a multitude of sins.
The only reason that we're here and we're alive right now is because of Christ, and in him we are put together.
We are broken pieces of stained glass. The sun shines through, and we're a beautiful masterpiece.
There are things that are wrong, but it's a matter of learning how to speak the truth and abhor what's evil and clinging to what's good, but it's learning to show honor and treat people with decency and respect. Like the same way that Christ did. He always met people where they were. Like when the woman was thrown at his feet and caught in the act of adultery, they bring her to Jesus and he says, I don't condemn you, but go and sin no more.
Since we've been talking about being judgmental, we're talking about being judgmental in a church. If someone's watching right now and been hurt by the church, what would you guys like to say?
I would say that I'm sorry first for the actions of fellow brothers and sisters who may not have shown the love of Christ the way he calls us to.
I would say you're loved. You have absolute intrinsic value, and you're broken, just like me. The only difference is I've found a solution for my brokenness.
Well, thank you guys for helping out with this video. I'm sure just as much as I appreciated it, they appreciated it as well. Please join me next time as we talk about our next topic. Please subscribe, like, and comment. We want to hear your questions, your comments, whatever you have to say. Guess we'll see you next time. Bye.